Cohen. I am the estimate products director. Been with the company for, I don't know, 6 years or so. Started in a part-time capacity, and then, about 4 or 5 years ago, transitioned over to full-time. So I prior to this, I was a full-time instructor at Arizona State University. I'm still teaching courses there on a part-time basis. And prior to that, I was a contractor for about 15 years. So been in the construction business in some way or another for my whole career. Really got started it was a family business. I'm the only child in the family, and my father had started the business back in the 80s. So I came, just born into it, I guess. Started at a young age going with my father to work on the weekends, would sweep the shop, and got the opportunity to play with really big equipment at a very very young age, which was exciting as a kid. So just always kind of loved going to work with them and being involved in the industry from that perspective. So it was yeah, I don't think there was ever anything that I a time that I didn't know that I wanted to, kind of be in the business, go into, into the business with them. In fact, I was in high school and, just thinking, I don't really want to go to college. I'm just going to, start working. I mean, I was already driving the trucks and running the equipment and all that type of stuff. So what do I need a college degree for? My old man said, no, you should, I'm not going to let you work with me until you get your degree. So I was, oh, okay. So I'll show you. I went to, we're from Chicago. So took a look at a few different colleges, and Arizona State was one of the colleges we looked at. So, all right, I'll show you. If you're going to make me get a degree, I'm going to go to ASU. So went to college at ASU, got my undergraduate degree, and worked for a contractor out here in Arizona for, I want to say about a year and a half or so. And then went back to Chicago and started working with my old man on a full-time basis. The thing that I would say the most passionate about with being in our industry is just the opportunity that we have to really change the way that things are done. Um, if you look at, most contractors, and I think everybody that's been in the business, for a significant amount of time has their own version or flavor of this, concept. But there's three things that you have to do as a contractor, and you have to do them well if you're going to be successful. You have to be good at bidding the work. You have to be good, getting the work. You have to be good at actually building it once you get it. And then once you've done that, you have to be good at getting paid for your work, which is the administrative side of it, right? So if you're not doing those three things well, you're probably not going to be, a good contractor for very long. You probably won't be in business very long. So what I tend to see, the business is very, very fragmented. I mean, you got, the Kiewits and, a handful of very large, companies out there, but the majority of it is small, medium business, right? Um, so what you have is a lot of people that, get into the business because they were tradesmen. They were really good at their craft, and, they got to the point where they wanted to, instead of, making money and or making somebody else, money, they decide to, buy a pickup truck and hang a shingle out the door, and all of a sudden they're contractors. So um, it's the American dream, right? You own your own business one day. But I think what winds up happening is a lot of the people that are in the business, they wind up being successful, not because they know exactly what they're doing, but because they're good at what they do, and they don't necessarily know why they're good at what they do. Construction has one of the largest mortality rates of any industry. I think it's number two, right behind restaurants, for failure rate as far as businesses go. And there's a business aspect to construction that I think is lost on a lot of the people that are really good at building the work. But, when things like a recession hits, or when things like, supply chain issues, how do you manage your contract through, do you know what risks you're assuming when you take on a contract? So I think there's a whole aspect to the business that is, we've got people that are really good at doing what they do. And I get really excited about the tools that we're creating, and the way that we're shaping and changing the industry to be able to help people better understand the business of that they're in. tradespeople are really good at building stuff. They're really good at doing what they do. They're passionate about it. But they don't get out of bed in the morning excited about doing the accounting, right? They don't look forward to talking to the bankers, the insurance people, the lawyers. They want to go build stuff. So, we hopefully are giving them the opportunity to handle some of that business aspect in a more efficient way so that they can focus on their business, right? I think that's the $1 million question. And I think that there's a lot of industry associations. There's a lot of people that are putting a lot of brain power into trying to figure that out. In my mind, it's somehow we have to make the industry, we have to evangelize it, and we have to show this next generation why the industry is attractive. It's not the industry that your parents grew up in, right? It doesn't have to be the put your work boots on and come back, 16 hours later, all, dirty and tired and beat up. And, oh, by the way, you started out in the trade, so your body's shot by the time you're 50. And, it's just, or you've got it's construction, right? You don't got a job for the next 18 months, but then after that, who knows? And so there's just a lot of perception that I think is unattractive to the new generation. We need to appeal to the things that they like. The technology aspect, the opportunity that we have in the industry to leverage technologies to increase productivity and efficiency is just it's so unlimited right now as far as where we could go and what we could do. If students, younger generation, if they understood that coming into the business, they would be doing things like flying drones around their site so that they can, track progress, doing 3D laser scans of the building, of the structure, so that they can, identify issues and communicate with the owners. If they understood, how they were able to, implement these technologies that the majority of the people in the business right now aren't comfortable with and don't want to do that. I regularly see it where students that are taking their jobs as field engineers, project engineers, they're the ones that are making the technology decisions in the companies that they're in. The companies are, the older guys are saying, hey, you're comfortable with the computers, you go figure this stuff out, right? Robotic automation of, either the construction equipment or even the inspection equipment that we're using. I mean, there's so much really cool stuff that's going on in the business that, I think if this next generation were just had better understanding and visibility to that, I think you'd see a lot more people that are, hey, this is a fun business to be in. I don't have to sit at a desk to play with computers all day. I can actually go out in the field and implement these technologies to build stuff and actually see things getting built, right?